The top 20 pharmaceutical companies in the world have a total annual revenue of approximately $1.5 trillion. That's why they are called Big Pharma. I'm Larry Fedoruk, and this is Later That Same Life. On my weekly podcast, topics, discussions, stories from our lives.
Season 11, Chapter 2.
Medicine.
Some of the world's biggest drug companies have become common brand names to us, due largely to COVID and vaccines. Pfizer, Moderna, AstraZeneca, Johnson & Johnson. Their annual revenues increased substantially in the last couple of years because of billions of doses of anti-COVID medicine. We didn't pay directly out of pocket for the shots, but our taxes did. Governments paid. Big Pharma made a lot of money. Think about this for a second. Pharma, at an annual revenue of $1.5 trillion, is not even a top 10 world industry by revenue. Number 1 is global telecommunications. 2 is global oil and gas. 3 is life and health insurance. Health insurance. A lot of that money gets funneled back to Big Pharma for medicines we allegedly need. Either way, it is a mind-boggling amount of money. Let's say you had $1 trillion. But just to be sure, you decided that you would count it. $1, $2, $3. At a pace of counting $1 per second, it would take you 31,688 years to finish counting. Yeah, I Googled that. Pfizer is at the top of the pharma heap. Pfizer, P-F-I-Z-E-R. The P is silent. Wow, well, that sounds like a problem solved only by one of the medications from Pfizer. Excuse me, doctor, my P is silent. Ah, yes, of course, that's very common for a man your age. Let me write you a prescription. I also mentioned Moderna, AstraZeneca, and Johnson & Johnson. You may have heard of Eli Lilly, Bayer, Bristol Myers Squibb. But what about Roche, Merck & Company, AbbVie, Novartis, Sanofi, Takeda? These are all multi-billion dollar businesses. Total up the top 20 and we're in for about $1.5 trillion of medicine. The question today is all of this designed to keep us healthy or to keep us medicated? Hey, I'm into the health. I'm into modern science. You know, the scientists who developed the biology for COVID vaccines just won the Nobel Prize. I applaud that. I am glad that there are readily available medicines that relieve every ache and pain and nuisance that comes our way. Not like when I was a kid. You got sick? Yeah. Well, here's a jar of Vicks Vapor Rub and a tablespoon of whiskey. Go to bed. If you're not better by tomorrow, Grandma has been soaking a cloth in baking soda and mustard seed. Modern medicine is good, but there's no doubt that the invention, development, and manufacture of medicine is not some altruistic endeavor. Pfizer et al. Are for-profit companies. They have competing medicines, and not necessarily because one medicine might be better than the other, but because they have sales representatives who have to meet quotas. They lobby the medical community. They advertise. They market. They tell you to ask your doctor if this medicine is right for you. And this is where I'm coming from. There are so many ads on TV right now for those ask your doctor medicines, I could barely keep track. If I did ask my doctor about all of these medicines, it would be a very long conversation. I decided, as a public service, to make a list. It is pretty comprehensive. A quick explanation first. To compile this list, I simply watched for TV ads on news networks like CBC and CNN. You know, other than news, I don't watch a lot of commercial TV anymore. A lot of health-related products advertise on the news networks because news networks draw an upper demographic. Upper demographic is a nice way of saying that mostly old people watch the news. Old people need medicine more than young people. It only took me about a day and a half to compile this list. Well over 24 new medicines that you should ask your doctor about. Is this right for you? That's how many of these ads ran in this very short time. Many of them multiple times. The names are unique. They sound more like they were invented by a scientist as opposed to a marketing person. See if you recognize any of these. Leqvio, spelled with a Q, by the way, Leqvio, that reduces cholesterol. Entivo, that's a Crohn's disease medication. So is Humira and Skyrizi. Rybelsus treats diabetes. So does Ozempic and Wegovy. Both of those are hard to find because they can also contribute to weight loss, so people began buying it for that, and the diabetes people, sold out. Ubrelvy is for migraines, so is Qulipta. Vraylar helps you out if you're bipolar. Sotyktu is for psoriasis, as is Cosentrix. Rinvoq is for eczema. Kisqali treats breast cancer, and Calquence is for lymphoma. Keytruda is for melanoma. Shingrix is the shingles vaccine. Paxlovid for COVID. Twinrix is for hepatitis C. And Rexv is recommended for fighting against RSV. Ask your doctor. Speaking of breathing, Abrezvo is for COPD, while Dupixent is for asthma. Vyvgart treats skeletal muscle weakness, while Kesimpta is for soft tissue problems. Farxiga is for kidney issues, Dovato for HIV, and Dovato is not to be confused with Demi Lovato, who's an American singer and actress. If you take Demi Lovato without a prescription, well, sorry, you're on your own. Tepezza treats thyroid eye disease, while Vabysmo is for AMD, age-related macular degeneration, also an eye problem. And of course, a lot of ads for Botox, a medication that helps treat the ego, makes you look younger, at least to you. To others, you just look puffy. And that's my list so far. I saw all of these ads in less than a day and a half. Talk about being inundated. Big Pharma is trying to sell me a lot of drugs. And remember, these are brand names from Big Pharma. Leqvio, Entiva, Humira, Skyrizi, Rybelsus, Ozempic, Wegovy, Ubrelvy, Qulipta, Vraylar, Sotyktu, Cosentrix, Rinvoq, Shingrix, Paxlovid, Twinrix, Arexvy, Abrezvo, Dupixent, Vyvgart, Kesimpta, Farxiga, Dovato, Tepezza, Vabysmo, and Botox. And I give honorable mention to Aveeno and Humana. These are not medicines, but the names sound like medicines. Aveeno, of course, is the moisturizing cream that Jennifer Aniston uses, and Humana is actually a health insurance company. The names are pretty ridiculous, huh? And there's almost 30 of them there for you. And why do we toss into the medicine cabinet right now all the weirdly named over-the-counter crap that we ingest depending on our symptoms? To name a few: Aleve, Advil, Claritin, Reactin, Robitussin, Benadryl, Robaxin, Abraxas. No, that last one I think is a Santana album. Cepacol, NyQuil, Pepto-Bismol, Pepcid, Sudafed, Allegra, Zytec, Zantac, Gravol, Neocitrin, Ricola. And we're washing it all down with a big glass of Metamucil. Some of these medications also run TV ads, but you can always tell the seriousness of the ailment and the medicine by the length of the disclaimer in the commercial. You know what I mean? The first part of these commercials tell you all the wonderful stuff that these meds can do for you. Then by law, to be on TV, they must tell you all the bad things that can happen to you, the side effects. Live well, disease-free, enjoy life again. However, may cause fever, chills, headaches, dark urine, severe or sudden rash, difficulty breathing, tiredness, loss of appetite. sudden weight loss, sudden weight gain, swelling, nosebleeds, soreness, abdominal pain, pimples, nightmare, dizziness, depression, temporary blindness, receding gums, chest pain, halitosis, body odor, tingling, sweating, flatulence, double vision, boils, hangnails, baldness, tooth decay, constipation, irritability, fatigue, fever. I know I said fever already, but it can happen more than once. Some patients reported experiencing wooziness, sclerosis, cirrhosis, alopecia, or memory loss. May also cause anxiety, redness, nervousness, impatience, disregard, scabs, acne, erratic driving, low self-esteem, lightheadedness, short temper, conservatism, unwanted facial hair, ingrown toenails, vertigo, hydrophobia, arachnophobia, cramps, listlessness, leakage, dandruff, memory loss. Wait, did I already say memory loss? Also blackouts, lethargy, the dropsies, kleptomania, chapped lips, wrinkles, ambient poo-poo smell, suicidal thoughts, consternation, rhododendron, Yolanda, apprehension, hemorrhoids, bank robbery, Stockholm syndrome, finicky behavior, and furry eyebrows. Do not take with any other inhibitors. Tell your doctor if you plan to have an organ transplant or if you'll be watching the final season of The Crown. While on medication, avoid grapefruit. Otherwise, ask your doctor if this medication is right for you. Wow. Why don't they just say, during testing of this medication, a lot of people became decrepit and died. But, none of this may happen to you. Oh, and my favorite disclaimer in those TV ads, I'm sure you've heard it. Do not take Vyvgart if allergic to Vyvgart. Really? You think? Wow, I can see those 8 years of medical school really paid off. Can't just pick up that kind of medical science information just anywhere, Do not take if allergic. That's some good logic there. Also, do not eat a Big Mac if you don't like hamburgers. Listen, I'm trying to be sensitive to all the people who have the diabetes and the psoriasis and the HIV and the eye bulging and the migraines. They're just hoping for a cure, at least some relief. I'm glad that there's medical science out there that may help you. Ask your doctor if it's right for you. But all of these commercials are pretty much the same. There's a miserable person missing out because of their specific ailment. Suddenly, they introduce the medicine, and there they are. They're bike riding, disco dancing, hanging out at the pool, going to monster truck shows, playing pickleball, and eating gigantic gourmet meals. I don't do any of those things, and I don't have any major ailments. So I'm thinking, hey, hook me up with those meds. I want that life. Again, I'm glad there's some medicine out there to help you, but I can't stop thinking about Big Pharma cashing in on your sickness. $1.5 trillion a year. Commerce. That's their drug of choice. And don't even use the S word with me. Socialism. I'm just saying, again, that food, shelter, health care, and medicine are the basic necessities for any kind of dignified human experience. But over our thousands of years, instead of figuring out how we can cover everybody's basics, we made them big business. That is ridiculous. Yeah, I'm looking at things as they are and asking why. And we're supposed to be dreaming of things that can be and asking why not. Paraphrasing RFK there. First, it should be humans taking care of humans. And then let commerce kick in. Let commerce be selling us everything else we don't really need that we just think we want. I mean, isn't that most of commerce anyway? Convincing us we need things we don't? Why are there people getting rich on things we need just to stay alive? Isn't that extortion? Isn't extortion against the law? And the thing is, you can't even start this conversation with most people. Things just don't work that way, Larry. Why not? And it's right around them that their eyes glaze over and they begin to drool and they look like they need a good shot of Qulipta. The final link in the Big Pharma chain is the drugstore, the retail outlet. Now, some of the medicines I've mentioned so far require going to a hospital or a clinic But most drugs today are dispensed at the back of a big box store. Yeah, big box. It started simply a drugstore, yes, but they had some cosmetics and shampoo and toothpaste. Fair enough. These products were being applied to our person. But now they've gone full-on grocery. I like to go to the drugstore on a Tuesday to get in line behind all the seniors buying eggs. Occasionally you still find these medical pharmacies, usually part of a big medical complex. Those pharmacies are much smaller. They seem almost antique. They're tightly packed with canes and walkers and heating pads and back supports. Maybe at the cash there's a little tiny tray of gum and O. Henry bars. Otherwise, they are pure pharmacy. Because most of the big chains have gone big box. I guess you gotta do it to stay competitive with Walmart. But it's weird. Excuse me, are you the pharmacist? Yes, do you need some help? Yeah, where are the Ritz crackers? Yes, of course, aisle 4, middle left, next to the potato chips. Okay, thanks. Would you recommend the minis at all? How about the cheese-filled? Can't complain, though. I mean, the other day, I got a flu shot, my COVID vaccine, and a jar of peanut butter. One-stop shopping. Anyway, back to Big Pharma. I'd like to be in charge of naming those drugs. If I was in charge, there wouldn't be both an Abrezvo and a Vabrismo. Vraylar, Alexvi, Vigovi, Bon Jovi. I got a really great name for a drug or a medicine. Fix-It-All. We don't really care what's wrong with you. Whatever it is, take Fix-It-All. Fix-It-All with Fix-It-All. I'm copywriting that name, by the way. Fix-It-All. It's a great name for a drug. Or perhaps a superglue from Home Hardware. One pill and all is good. That's the dream, right? Perhaps that's what all the oxy drugs were about. How did that work out? We want the pill. That's why people take Ozempic for weight loss. Hey, how about portion control and diet and exercise? Nah, just take a pill with a big bowl of ice cream. Actually, I have a few ideas for medicine names. They sound like medicine names. Good for what ails you. Fix-It-All, Nirvana, No Problemo, Abracadabra, Satisfaction, Pain-Fria, True Lovey, Blisphema, Excellente, Feelin' Groovy, Valhallan, Perfectix, Euphoria, Relaxin', Yippee-Ki-Yay, and Zippity-Doo-Dah. And those are all just off the top of my head. Ask your doctor if Zippity-Doo-Dah is right for you. Yeah, I could name those medications much better than the big pharma guys, and they could pay me for that. I'd get a piece of that $1.5 trillion. And then maybe I could afford to pay for better health insurance.
Down, 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 the stomach through. Round, 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 the system too. Without the seltzer, they always say, relief is just a swallow away.
Is this the way you feel in the morning? Still tired after a good night's sleep? Too dragged out and nervous to face the day? Try Ributol. Mr. Daniel Spillane of New York City.
I was feeling tired. My wife heard about Ributol on the radio. After taking it, I feel full of pep.
Get Ributol from your druggist today.
Somonex's combination of special ingredients helps calm down jittery nerves and relax you. Somonex contains no narcotics, and it's non-habit forming.
At this time of year, with coughs all around, you need a cough drop that really works.
Vicks Medicated Cough Drop, regular flavor. Vicks Medicated Cough Drop, New Wild Cherry flavor.
What's the best way to reduce? Eat plenty or starve yourself? Starve yourself? Wrong. A half-empty stomach causes hunger tantrums. Now with the RDX full stomach reducing plan, you fill your stomach, avoid hunger tantrums. Lose excess weight naturally and fast. Get RDX at your drugstore now.
Now, a modern medical achievement that helps drain all 8 sinus cavities, relieve pain and congestion, restore free breathing. Called Dristan tablets. Here's how they work.
What do doctors do for pain of headache, neuritis, neuralgia? For my patients, I recommend the ingredients in Anacin for incredibly fast relief. You get fast relief from pain, fight depression, calm jittery nerves. I feel great, and Anacin doesn't upset my stomach.
It's time for Pepto-Bismol, time for hospital-tested Pepto-Bismol.
Even though you've tried other methods and failed, you can still lose ugly fat fast. Thousands can tell you that the calometric reducing formula is the only safe, sure, effective way to reduce. Folks, here's a youngster whose mom really knows the score. You know what this is, Johnny?
Sure, it's juvenile. My mom gives me some every day. She says it's to make me gain weight and grow.
And, does it?
I guess so. I sure get awful hungry.
Does it make you feel good, too?
I always feel good. I'm pretty strong.
Well, by golly, I guess you are, young fella. I wouldn't want to tangle with you. Mothers, the Council of Parents magazine commends Juvenile for your child. You see, Juvenile is the blood-building, appetite-building vitamin and iron tonic that your child may need to gain weight and grow, and for energy, too. And mothers, you know the youngsters really like Juvenile? Tell them why, Johnny.
Sure. Juvenile tastes like lollipops. It's good.
Later That Same Life is written, voiced, and produced by Larry Fedoruk. LarryFedoruk37@gmail.com. Subscribe to Larry's podcast YouTube channel. Get automatic notifications with each new episode.
Ask your doctor if this podcast is right for you.